Right, we're now on to a fantastic presentation. I love the title of it. If you don't like ketchup, you won't like it. It is AI, it's not the ketchup you need to put on everything. It's by Achilles George, Head of Data, AI and Innovation from MOL, who you saw on the opening session. So over to you, Achilles.
Hello, I'm Achilles Georgiu from More Group, and I'm joining the conference from Hungary. I'm leading the data and innovation and AI team in More Group, and during my presentation, I will be happy to share my challenges and also to share some of my thoughts of how we are turning the company from data-driven, moving forward to an AI-driven company. And I will also share some hints and tips for the future to show you and share with you what is even beyond that. I don't know how you're personally facing the challenges. I have on daily basis business coming to me and asking, Achilles, let's do something with AI. I was on a conference, I was in a future IT conference in the summer, and I saw some exciting things, and I want to do it for our business. And I see also the other side of the coin when I go to my team and said, guys, business came with a brilliant idea. We need to introduce some new AI technologies. And I have here the questions, okay, something new again. Oh, Jesus, what to do with that? So this, when the two words are meeting, we have a continuous tension in how to manage this. And the tension is still to become even more. Let me share my thoughts on this. So when the new AI technologies popped up like geysers 2 years ago, so they today have become mature enough so to be able to introduce on real business value creation activities. And the real challenge and happen, the momentum still ahead of us, let's say, when these AI technologies will convert into multimodal solutions and those will go through the business like a tsunami. So this is what we are still looking ahead of us, and the challenge is still to grow. And today, I still believe that we are significantly underestimate the possibilities that AI can offer. So there's a huge journey, there is an exciting journey ahead of us, and this is what we are doing now. One of the discussions I had with business, I always tell them, guys, it's very easy to fall in love with the flame. So it's easy to fall in love with the flame of AI. It's shiny, it's sparky, the promises are huge, but the real value creation can come when when the coal is heat enough. So when I was growing up in Greece as a young fellow, we were cooking lamp, and the lamp needs like 6 to 8 hours coal, continuous coal to make the meat ready. So this is the task we need to do now. In every business, we need to understand how to turn the flame into real coal and how to make AI drive the business transformation in a sense. So in order to do the business transformation, first we need to understand something. So this is the evolution of digital maturity. And as we consider even more group today, we are truly they are data driven. So most and every decision is made based on data. And the business strategy evolution is following the evolution of data. The technology in every aspect is an enabler. So we have been going through a digitization. We are digitizing every activity of the business in order to make it data driven. Now we are looking ahead for the next challenge, which is how we move from data driven to an AI driven organization. And in some sense, how to digitally transform the things that we do on a daily basis. The bad news for you guys is that we already see what is beyond, even beyond AI-driven stage. And I will share that at the end of the presentation, but just highlighting it is called in scientific method, they call it in a discovery-driven, where we take AI and digitally reinvent how we do the business, not just transform, but take it from scratch and reinvent the whole way of operating. Let me use a metaphoric story. I really like it. And consider the journey of how moving from data driven to AI driven. Years ago, when we had no access to data, to take a decision was very hard. Consider that the pieces of puzzle elements are the data sources you have. So all pieces were upside down on the table, and it was extremely hard to take any decision. So once we could find piece of elements that we could hook on, then we started making assumptions. So if the picture, the main idea of this is to make sure that we see the whole picture. For example, if my wife sees a brown element, she would say, oh, definitely this is a Labrador dog. This is her favorite dog. But for example, if I see a similar brown piece of element from the picture, I would say, it's no way. This is definitely a Greek sandy beach where I would like to be there and spend some time. So this is the challenge and we face. And how we took the decision was that based on the assumptions, we made some hypotheses. Maybe those who were louder, they could help us take a decision and move forward. And here comes today. Now, since we have access to all data, is it easier to make decisions? In some sense, it's even harder because now we have access to all data, we have overseen of the data, but the data is still in a form that it doesn't help us make a decision. And the beauty comes that, okay, let's throw AI in it, let's throw like ketchup on everything, and the AI will solve the problem that we face. AI is not the ketchup we need to throw on everything, definitely. Technology-wise, most of the companies who are exploring and experimenting with AI might be at this stage that they can put the puzzle, the borders of the puzzle together, and that's also in some sense help us take a bit better decisions without having enough insights, because at least we know the playground, at least we know the range in which within we need to take the decision. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to reach the point where we can have full access and oversee of the picture without really caring how the pieces are put together. And this is the beauty of technology evolution. This is the beauty of AI. We are aiming to the level where we can oversee the picture. And as you see, the picture has both assumptions, underlining both of the assumptions. It's nice and it's brown, it's an animal. Obviously, you would love to hang it, but you cannot because it will bite you. The sea element is also there, but it's frozen, so I wouldn't be able to swim in it. Business decision makers, they only care to have access to the insights from the data and to whenever they want, whenever they need it. So in order to take the better decisions on the spot. And this is a great challenge we are facing. How we can use AI to turn insights, to gain insights from the data we have, unlimited data, we identified everything into something that where we can take a proper decisions. In our team, we have built a structure around this. I assume you have seen the left-hand side of the picture. It's quite old. When we have, they said that when we have the data, in reality, we don't know anything. So once we can somehow process into a meaningful structure, then we have the information, obtain some information, at least we know what we are doing. So when the information is kind of combined and applied, then we have a kind of knowledge, then we know how, and ultimately, then we use our judgment and foreseeing, and from the patterns we had in the past, this is called wisdom, then we can know why we do. This is how we took decisions until now, and this is how we still take decisions on human side. So how can technology help us? So on the right hand side, we have data engineers who can clean and collect the data. Then we have data analysts who can kind of work on them and take them further until to reach the top of the pyramid, which is ultimately to help technology, AI to provide us enough decision points and like an educated guess, this is what I said, or scientific guess, like from the insights of the data and in order to combine it with our wisdom in order to take better decisions. So like putting the pictures together in that form. Cool. That's a great challenge. The AI doesn't work without proper data behind. So data is the source of insights for AI. And AI is still evolving. We already been using machine learning for decades in a more group. And now we are in the form that let's bring on the ultimate on the top level of this pyramid in order to take much better, more accurate decisions and to move away from data driven into a more AI driven maturity. This will take time. The journey is quite long, but we are working on it. We did mention, though, that there is something beyond that. And what is coming beyond that is the so-called discovery-driven era, where we digitally reinvent how we work and rely more and more on AI. How we do it? I assume you all have seen the scientific method. You have been using it in the academic environment when you wrote your thesis, but we apply it also on a daily basis in our job. So we make some observations, we raise some questions, we do some research to access more data. Then we take the assumptions and hypotheses, just to use a Greek alternative of it, while we're doing experimentation in order to analyze to make it the hypothesis standard, accept and reject, and then we take some conclusions. We have the long reports, and this is how we go through the decision-making process. This is a so-called scientific method and empirical approach how to take better decisions. We still use it on the daily basis today, but with the help of technology, we can take this even beyond further. How we can do that is like closing the loop. Artificial intelligence and the technology can help us run scientific methods unlimitedly. So they can take, you have a question, then you raise a question, the answer is 30. What is 30? What is how much? So the give and go between AI, it's a great challenge. How this will work? The accelerated scientific method is using AI in any position of the scientific method, and you can kind of initiate new loops, new circles. So, for example, when you are testing your hypothesis, you can rely on AI saying that once during the test you find a new problem, you find a new hypothesis, raise some new loops, initiate some new scientific method circles. And for example, when we say what was the question, how much, then it says 30, it can come to a conclusion with like 2 million of calculations or infinite loops. And this is a great challenge because it raises our awareness towards AI in a form that can we really trust the solution? Can we really trust the outcome which was coming from the scientific approach? And this is definitely not an easy to be answered because, as you know, the ethic and all aspects of AI say that states that we need to be able to reverse engineer the result and the outcome. But for example, if AI has taken like 2 million of calculation loops, it might take for a human to decode the solution like weeks or even months or even years. And this is the biggest challenge which we are looking ahead of us. So the question is, can we really trust AI? Ultimately, after a point, and when we are becoming more AI driven, this question will turn into another question. And this is what I personally do believe as well, is that this is not, the basic question is not whether we can trust it, but whether we will still have a time ahead of us when we can avoid and where we can afford not to trust the AI on the level we expect to drive our business decision making. Having said that, I would like to thank you a lot for the presentation and listening to my thoughts, and see you around later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Achilles. Really like the analogies. I like the Greek, the sort of cooking of the meats as well. It's not about the flame. Really good analogies, actually. Very philosophical. Really good. I like. It's true though. I think when you think about how people are talking about AI on social media and they talk about AI generally in conferences, I think they do probably see it as something you just layer on. So it's a really good concept to say, look, it's not something, it's not a ketchup. You don't just put it here, there, and everywhere. It needs a thought process. It needs change management. It needs understanding. It needs a two-way dialogue. And I think that was a really, really good presentation. Really, really insightful. Thank you very much, Achilles.